There are evenings when the kitchen light stays on longer than planned. The table is still scattered with cups, crumbs, a homework sheet folded twice. Someone is talking from the next room, words drifting without needing answers. A bag rests by the door, half unpacked, leaning the way tired things lean. The body moves through small motions it already knows. Hands rinse a plate, pause, rinse it again. The clock makes a sound that has been there all along. Nothing feels urgent, yet nothing feels finished. Love is present in ordinary ways, without announcing itself. It sits in the quiet agreement to keep going a few minutes more. It lives beside the tiredness, not instead of it. The room holds both, without asking either one to leave. The air carries the low hum of a house settling in for the night. Breathing slows where no one is watching closely anymore. The evening keeps unfolding in small, familiar ways. A chair scrapes softly as someone shifts their weight. A drawer opens, closes, opens again, not because anything is missing, but because hands are looking for a place to rest. The body is still moving, even while feeling spent. There is a towel draped over the sink, slightly damp, left there without thought. The floor carries the marks of the day, tiny footprints, a drop of water, a corner that never quite stays clean. These details have been here before. They will likely be here again tomorrow. Someone asks a question that does not need much answering. The voice sounds younger than it did this morning. It is softer now, shaped by the evening. Words come out slowly, shaped by tired mouths and long days. The feeling of being drained does not arrive loudly. It settles in quietly, like the way shoulders drop when the day finally loosens its grip. There is love in the room, but it does not feel light or easy. It feels heavy in the way something real does. It asks nothing extra. It simply stays. Hands move through routines learned long ago. The kettle is filled without measuring. A lid is set down a little off-center. There is comfort in how little thought this requires. Even tiredness recognizes these gestures as familiar ground. Time stretches in uneven pieces. A few minutes feel long, then suddenly pass without notice. Someone laughs at something small, and the sound passes through the room without needing a response. The laughter does not lift the tiredness. It does not need to. The body notices its own weight. Feet press into the floor. The back leans briefly against the counter. There is no plan to rest yet. There is only this moment of leaning, allowed to exist as it is. Family life fills space without asking permission. It brings noise, mess, repetition. It also brings a strange steadiness, the kind that continues even when energy runs low. Love does not disappear when exhaustion arrives. It changes shape, becomes quieter, more practical, more ordinary. A light flickers as someone passes the switch twice by accident. No one comments. These small missteps feel expected now, part of the rhythm of evenings like this. Nothing needs correcting. The house holds all of it. The half-finished tasks. The unfinished sentences. The people who are still here, even while feeling emptied out. A plate is set down gently on the table. The sound lands, then fades. The evening continues without announcing its next step. The television stays off, though its dark screen reflects the room. A lamp hums faintly, casting light that feels softer than it did an hour ago. Someone moves past with socks half slipping from their heels. There is a quiet request for water, then another, even though a glass is already nearby. The request feels less about thirst and more about being seen. The glass is filled anyway, without comment. Tiredness sits deeper now. It is not sharp. It does not demand attention. It rests in the arms, the neck, the way the head tilts forward without noticing. Love continues to show itself through small allowances. The room stays a little messier than usual. The tone of voices stays gentle, even when patience feels thin. Nothing is explained. Nothing needs to be fixed tonight. A familiar phrase is repeated, one that has been said so many times it has lost its edges. It lands softly, like a blanket laid down without ceremony. The words are not special. Their repetition is. The body keeps track of time without looking at the clock. It knows how close the day is to closing. It knows how much is left to give, even if that amount feels small. A window is cracked open for a moment. Cool air brushes the room, then the window is closed again. The sound of the latch is gentle, almost apologetic. There is a moment when everything feels slightly too much. Not enough to speak aloud. Just enough to be noticed internally. The feeling passes without resolution. Family life has its own gravity. It pulls people back into shared spaces, even when they long to be alone. It holds them there, not tightly, but firmly enough that leaving would feel wrong. A hand rests on the back of a chair. It stays there longer than necessary. The contact is brief, but it steadies something unnamed. The floor creaks in the hallway. Someone disappears into another room, then returns with a forgotten item. The movement feels circular, like evenings often do. The love in the room does not sparkle. It does not feel uplifting or inspiring. It feels dependable, even when energy is gone. It feels like staying. A dish towel is folded, then unfolded, then folded again more neatly. No one notices. The action completes itself quietly. There is a sense of waiting, though no one is sure for what. Perhaps for the moment when the house grows still on its own. Perhaps for the permission to stop moving. For now, the lights remain on. Voices remain low. The evening continues, one small sound at a time. A chair is pushed back in place. The room settles around it. The house grows quieter without anyone deciding it should. Movement slows in places that were busy earlier. The sounds that remain feel farther apart, like they are leaving room for each other. Someone sits down without a reason to sit. Not to rest exactly, but to pause where the body happens to stop. The chair holds the weight without comment. Light gathers differently now. It softens at the edges of the room, settling on familiar surfaces. The table no longer feels like a place of tasks. It becomes just a table again. Breathing becomes easier to notice. Not because it changes, but because nothing is rushing past it. There is a sense of being inside the moment rather than moving through it. A quiet sound comes from another room. A drawer closing. A step on the floor. Each one arrives, then fades, leaving space behind. The tiredness is still there. It has not lifted or shifted. It simply feels less alone. The body leans back slightly. Shoulders lower by a small amount. The difference is subtle, but it is felt. There is a warmth in knowing everyone is near, even without speaking. Doors stay open. Lights remain on where they are needed. No one is trying to disappear completely. Time stretches again, but gently this time. Minutes pass without being counted. Nothing is waiting to begin or end. A glass of water sits untouched for a while. Condensation gathers along its side. The room seems content to let it be. Thoughts drift without forming conclusions. They come and go like background noise. No one is listening closely to them. The feeling of being drained no longer asks to be fixed. It settles into the body as a simple fact of the day. It rests alongside everything else that remains. A familiar presence is felt nearby. Not through words or gestures, but through shared stillness. It feels steady, like something that has been here many times before. The room carries a quiet agreement. Nothing more is required right now. Nothing needs to be improved. A clock ticks somewhere out of sight. Its sound blends into the space rather than cutting through it. Time continues, but without urgency. Someone exhales a little more deeply than before. The sound is soft. It passes without notice. The evening holds its shape. The tiredness stays. So does the love. A light is turned off in the next room. The darkness does not rush in. It arrives slowly, and stays. Later, the house begins to feel larger. Not because anything has changed, but because fewer things are moving through it. Rooms hold their shapes more clearly when they are not being crossed every minute. Someone stands at the sink again, though there is nothing urgent to wash. Water runs for a moment, then stops. Hands rest on the edge, feeling the cool surface beneath the palms. The quiet has weight now. It does not feel empty. It feels full in a way that does not need filling. A small pile of folded clothes waits on a chair. They have been there since the afternoon. Their presence no longer feels unfinished, just paused. The body notices its own limits more gently here. There is an awareness of tired legs, tired eyes. No story forms around it. The room holds familiar shadows. Corners soften as the light lowers. Nothing looks new, yet everything feels slightly different. Someone passes by without speaking. The sound of footsteps is slower than before. Each step lands with care, as if the floor deserves it. The love in the house continues without performance. It does not require energy that is no longer available. It stays in shared silence, in the absence of friction. A breath is taken in, then released fully. The body seems to recognize that the day is loosening its hold. There is no announcement of this shift. It simply happens. A phone rests face down on the table. Its screen stays dark. No one reaches for it. Thoughts begin to thin out. They no longer arrive in clusters. They come singly, then drift away before finishing themselves. The feeling of being drained remains, but it feels quieter now. It has lost its edge. It is just another part of the evening, like the dim light or the cooling air. A door closes gently somewhere down the hall. The sound settles into the room without echo. It feels final, though nothing is ending. The body adjusts again. A shoulder rolls. A hand presses briefly into the lower back. There is a sense of having done enough for today. Not everything, but enough. The difference feels important, though unnamed. The room seems to breathe with the people inside it. Movement slows further. Pauses grow longer. A chair is pulled out, then left where it is. The space does not mind. The house carries its people quietly now. It does not ask them to be more than they are. A lamp is turned off. The light leaves without resistance. Night settles more fully now. The house seems to recognize it before anyone names it. Sounds soften further, as if they know they are being carried farther in the quiet. Someone sits on the edge of a bed without intending to stay there. The mattress dips slightly, accepting the weight. A pause happens, unplanned, but welcome. The day feels farther away. Not gone, just less demanding. Its details no longer push forward to be noticed. A hallway light remains on, casting a thin line along the floor. It feels like a small promise that no one is alone yet. Doors stay partly open. The body feels heavier here. Not in a way that asks for concern. In a way that feels honest. Breathing slows again. The rise and fall of the chest becomes steady, almost unnoticed. The rhythm feels familiar, like something remembered rather than chosen. There is love in this quiet, but it does not speak. It does not reach out. It rests where it is, trusting the space to hold it. A blanket is pulled up slightly, then left where it lands. The fabric carries the warmth of earlier moments. It does not need to be adjusted further. The feeling of being drained no longer feels like a problem to solve. It is simply present, like the dimness in the room. It belongs to the night as much as anything else. Someone moves slowly past the doorway. The sound of footsteps barely registers. Their presence is known anyway. The mind grows less busy. Thoughts loosen their grip and slip away more easily. Nothing important feels like it will be missed. A small object rests on the bedside table. Glasses. A book not opened. They wait without expectation. Time stretches again, but without tension. Moments feel wide, unhurried. The clock's ticking is softer here, almost kind. The house seems to be watching over its people now. Walls feel steady. The ceiling feels high enough to breathe under. A deep sigh leaves the body. It is not dramatic. It simply happens. There is no need to mark this moment. No need to remember it later. It is enough that it is happening. Light from the hallway dims as someone switches it off. Darkness fills the space gently. Nothing rushes. The night holds what remains. The tiredness. The love. Both are allowed to stay. Much later, the house reaches a deeper quiet. Not the quiet of absence, but the quiet that comes from everything finally settling. Even the small sounds seem to pause between themselves. The room is mostly dark now. Light comes only from places not fully turned off. A clock display. A distant street lamp filtering through curtains. The body lies still, not because it was told to, but because it no longer needs to move. Muscles loosen without instruction. The day releases its grip in slow, uneven places. There is an awareness of others sleeping nearby. Breathing behind walls. The soft shift of weight in another room. Their presence is felt more than heard. Tiredness lies deep now. It is no longer connected to tasks or expectations. It feels like something earned, something allowed. Thoughts come rarely. When they do, they arrive quietly and leave before asking anything. Nothing insists on being resolved. The night air feels cooler. It brushes against skin that no longer resists it. The body adjusts slightly, then settles again. Love exists here without shape or effort. It is not attached to words, faces, or gestures. It feels like a shared stillness, spread across rooms. The feeling of being drained does not disappear. It softens into something neutral. It rests alongside sleep, neither welcome nor unwelcome. Time loses its edges. Minutes and hours blur together. The clock continues, but its meaning fades. There is a moment when the body floats between waking and sleep. Not fully gone. Not fully here. Just held. A distant sound passes outside. A car. Wind. It fades without pulling attention. The house feels protective in this state. Walls stand quietly. Doors stay closed where they should. Breathing deepens on its own. The rhythm feels older than the day itself. Older than effort. Nothing is asked of this moment. No gratitude needs to be named. No meaning needs to be drawn. The night holds everything that remains unfinished. It does not rush it toward morning. It simply keeps it safe for now. A small shift happens. An arm moves. Then stillness returns. Sleep arrives without ceremony. Not as a solution. Not as relief. Just as rest. The house stays awake a little longer. Listening. Holding. Morning will come later, whether prepared for or not. For now, the night remains intact. The house holds its quiet the way it has learned to do. Walls keep their distance. Objects stay where they were left. Somewhere, a small light stays on. Not for a reason. Just because it was not turned off. Breathing continues, steady and unnoticed. The body stays where it is, without checking what comes next. There is no need to gather strength in advance. Love rests nearby, not asking to be felt more clearly. It does not need reassurance. It has learned how to stay even when energy has run out. The tiredness remains too. It is allowed its place. It does not need to be pushed aside to make room for anything else. The night does not hurry this moment. It keeps it wide. It keeps it simple. Somewhere beyond the walls, things continue. Cars pass. Lights change. None of it enters here. Inside, the quiet stays complete. Nothing is being repaired. Nothing is being improved. Just this pause. Just this breath. Just the ordinary way a day finally lets go.